3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stories from the Unbound Shores. Where we last left off with the group had finished having some conversations with their old and uh, companion Eskel, and his new companion as well.
Here's his
And
tiny baby.
Tiny baby.
along with a flashback to when they used a wish scroll to free Nightmare from her fiendish form, allowing her to effectively take the form of a uh, Pegasus, Nightmare, or horse, as she wished, along with the ability to speak as opposed to just understand.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
And then we left at the very end with the group reporting to Commander Drogo their abilities, and so that he might make the best use of them in the upcoming plans for another assault on the volcanic island. As for the moment, most, if not all, of our forces have pulled back to the Silver Van Brace, which, while close, air quotes, still a bit of a sail from here to the island, so not likely to get into direct conflicts from here. Unless, of course, the dragon wakes up, which, that's a whole other issue.
That would never happen, though.
No, never. We're doing
Not
a
if
great
you have
job
anything to
preventing
say
it.
about it.
Yeah, that's what the army's here for.
But, if memory serves, you had just been dismissed, so you may do what you want for an evening while he more or less convenes with his command staff. Uh, and Espel has been given the task of helping the new mercenaries settle in.
Well, I can at least show you where you can put your things until our shift. Follow me.
So where is this that we're going?
The volcanic island to the north of here.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's where all of the activity is. And if there's anything to be done, it'll be done there. With any luck, there won't be a lot to be done. This block of tents is currently not in use. But you should be able to post up here. Rest if you need to. Of course, there's more water and food if you need it. There are a lot fewer people here than usual, so there shouldn't be any worry about running out.
What time of day is it? How soon before we, sleep, and is it night?
I would say it's starting to get to, early evening, so, let's say 5. Early afternoon, early evening.
It's almost time for us to wake up.
I'm gonna use my map to scope out the area. As it was, like, what? How long ago was this map from?
The one that
I believe it's like 500 years, something like that.
Gonna scope out the area as it was 500 years ago.
I thought we
It's a
saw
lot of-
up-to-date skeletons on it.
See?
Hey, it's only like, I don't know. You did see skeletons on it, so I guess 500's too old. I don't remember. So, say like 300? Because I think he would have still been in control of it then. Ah,
So, what does it look like 300 years ago?
this particular area doesn't have any kind of camp in it. There's not even necessarily, I don't know.
Turns
roads
out there
to
was
get
a
near
city here 300 years ago.
How cool would that be?
It got wiped out by Mount Vesuvius over there, erupting last time before the dragon went to sleep.
Oh, I was thinking someone just, like, picked up the whole city and moved it over there.
What if we just take the city and push it somewhere else?
Okay then. Uh, so
Someone hadn't seen SpongeBob.
I've seen numerous episodes, but apparently not that one. By no means in any sort of order have I seen them.
That was the one about the Alaskan bullworm.
Oh,
Yeah. Because they succeeded in moving the city, and then they dropped the Alaskan bullworm on top of it.
I reference that one often. I sing Sandy's song.
That one about hog tying things?
About Texas, I don't know if there was a mention of hog tying.
I've forgotten the song. I feel bad.
Alright, leaf eaters.
What?
I said leaf eaters. They're all elves. Deal with it. So there was effectively nothing here at the time, aside from like, you know, nature, wildlife, that sort of thing. Like nothing man-made.
Oh, we gotta have fun doing the Clouseau accent.
I might try it once. I make no promises. Anyways,
Actually,
sorry.
you know what? Sorry. Is Esco hanging out with us? And we can look at the map together?
Yes.
And he can be like, so that's where this is now, and this is what's going on here. Give us an updated map with visuals. Wow!
Excuse me. Personal space, please.
The funny thing is, I did not move her.
No,
Jumped back
I'm
away from
sorry.
Esco like, no.
That was me. I just
Weird.
Snapped her to the tile.
it was that the not being centered was bugging me. I should have asked. I didn't, but
kind of
Is
surprised
there
that I'm
something
not
with
snapped.
water today? I swear it's like hurting. I have not been able to finish hardly any descriptions or questions yet. So, back to question A. Are you wanting to just see the area?
You're roboting.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
That was interesting.
Roland's not talking to us.
No. He's faced away. He doesn't want anything to do with us anymore.
Very sad.
testing, testing.
Hello.
There you are.
We're sounding all right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you looking in just the immediate area, or are you like, are there other sections you're trying to like scout out on the map or see what they used to look like?
I mean, mostly just, like, the area where we're going, so we know what to expect. But, like, as much of that area and, like, immediate surroundings as makes sense. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know where you're going with it either, because either I was losing connection or you were. I only
Oh,
heard
okay.
bits and pieces.
Mainly I want to scout out, like, the area we're going and its immediate surroundings and maybe the route we're going to be taking.
Alright, well, you currently don't know. You just have been
You're
informed of a
roboting
plan.
again.
I like the moment he
Alright.
starts to say something important. He robots.
I know, right?
The rest of the time he's fine.
Testing, testing.
Yes, turning, rolling around to face us will fix it.
Maybe.
Yeah, look, I just need Roland to hold the bunny ears for my internet, and to just stand perfectly still. It'll be.
I wonder why it's acting up like that today.
About something or like a stream trying to run on Chrome or something.
Possibly.
Steam is fine. I have a lot of tabs open in Chrome that I can close. Let's try that. Because it is just me, right?
Yeah. I can hear Kate just fine. My
You know what?
connection's all green.
I have this encounter saved, so I can actually just close the entirety of my Chrome. Hope that helps. Okay. So, you do not currently know the route you're planning to take because, well, you just haven't formed of the plan. But you can check, you know, around.
Did we lose you again?
I heard you can check around, and there was a big gap in there.
And around cut off kind of abruptly.
Fuck my life. Ugh. I guess that came through loud and clear.
Yeah. Of course that did. I told you. Only the important stuff.
It reminds me of Blitz spelling out the non-curse words.
M-O-T-H-E-R fuckers! I can't
Alright.
spell. I can't read either.
Alright, so you can look around the volcano, like exterior, you will check the inside.
Yeah, check
Yeah.
the inside of the volcano, but why?
Because we have
Wizards
a
is
map.
really slacking.
It's
because
a
this is your Google Maps.
it's a really good map, Melisari.
Yeah, a really
Yeah.
good map.
You're able to make out some general features around the volcano and things, but parts of it are hard to see just because this is more or less a top-down map. And so some of the smoke from the volcano will be interfering with what you can and cannot see.
Oh my gosh, the smoke is animated on the map.
No. It doesn't animate. It's always still. That is definitely a thing that's been there.
I was really hoping we would get, like, cross-sections of the volcano. Like, you could zoom in and be like, here's everything at this altitude, here's everything at this elevation, here's everything at this elevation. Like, look, that's where the caldera ends.
Get a fucking CT of the mountain.
Yeah.
While her map doesn't have that, you do know that there have been some,
Expeditions.
expeditions is probably the best word for it, into the volcano's openings to try and find some more of the sources of the problems. So, while the entirety of the thing won't be mapped, they will have some things, but it's...
My
not
hand signal
like-
came in really handy again for those particular expeditions when we had to go into the volcano's openings. And we
No,
didn't
it's
want
alright,
to wake
get
up a
the 1,000
dragon.
yard scare.
You told me it was a bad hand signal. Everyone here loves it.
Correct.
So... So they do have some of that information, but it's not likely to be given out to, the mercenary company that has just shown up.
Gee, why not?
Because there's a chain of command and you're at the bottom of it.
But we're awesome.
The chain of command is the chain that Drogo's gonna get and beat us with until we understand who's in command.
Jesus.
Oh no, this isn't Cord's army. He doesn't beat you with the chain. He tingles you to death with the chain, with court-martials and other punishments.
Oh, Bahamut, you coy bastard.
I don't know that I ever expected to hear Bahamut referred to as coy.
That is whining.
That said, unless there are specific things you're trying to find out or competitions you want to have, I can move to discussions of the plan.
Sure.
Main plan, the plan, boss, the plan.
Herding cats.
Fantasy Island.
I don't know if it's me, if it's today, or what. I have yet to understand a single reference that has been made this day.
The plane, boss, the plane.
Not even hello,
He did
boss?
have that. He had that worse voice. He's like, the plane. He spoke like that.
I didn't want to get too offensive or whatever, but yeah, it's been a long time. Speedy Gonzalez voice or something.
No, that's what it sounded like. He had like this kind of
A
rough
rasp.
voice.
Makes me think of
Yeah,
Tito
he had
from
kind of like
Oliver
this
and
little
Company.
raspy voice.
What'd you say, hon?
Makes me think of Tito from Oliver and Company.
Yeah, I think they were going for something similar there, if I'm thinking of the right thing. Anyway, so planning we can skip to. It sounds like we're trying to anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Alright.
So then, a lot of you would actually be invited back into the command tent.
Okay, hold on. She can't be doing that.
What?
We're just
Sounds like he's
teleporting
picking up.
every which way.
I just got confused for what he said, but it sounds like he's picking up food. So
Oh,
unless
I thought
people
he
have
was
No,
going
he's
to
talking to the
eat
dog. He's telling the dog to stop barking.
it was barking.
I guess.
He said you can't be barking.
I feel like I just need to go curl up in a corner and wait till tomorrow.
I feel like that sometimes.
I feel like that most of the time. Except I also want to have a book with me in the corner.
And that's what audiobooks are for. With
Right.
sleep timers.
Sorry about that. She cannot be barking in here, not in an apartment complex.
No worries. So. Get these closer. So you guys want to start moving yourselves in while I get the rest of the layers and things intent hidden.
Intent on hidden.
Eskel got left at the door, apparently.
Yeah, I did too, apparently.
There's a car alarm going off.
Well, we at least can't hear it. So, Eskel, you would recognize, everyone here with as the other higher ups of the military structure. Commander Swiftfoot on the left, Commander Brightstone on the right.
Landemir, Eleanor.
Resident mages for those two. And you would have had some discussions with these, with the commanders in the past, as your artifact would give you a certain degree of weight above your station. Or at least they would place value on your input.
Gotcha. So, Eskel has had opportunity to speak strategy to this council in the past, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
This is not your first time meeting with the brass. And so, as you enter, saluting or not, whatever it is you feel appropriate.
Yeah, I think he always does. Salutes people above him, at least when they're not on the battlefield.
I have made a poor decision in hindsight, but we're going to have to deal with it.
Oh dear.
I've just set up a scenario where I have to talk to myself.
See, you made yourself rolling.
So,
I mean, you could change your mind and have Tristan be rolling again.
You probably need
for this scene, sure, why not? Because I need
Conversation.
somebody else to answer these questions. So, Predator Joker will address you and says, "Good, you're here. You there. Roll it."
Straightens up. Yes, sir.
From your report earlier, you're capable of 6th-level spells, correct?
That is correct.
He nods at this, and then kind of looks to the others. They kind of nod. Then I have a high-risk assignment for your group. We'll support you in whatever ways we can, but you have access to a spell that we have been lacking as trying to get the higher level casters from Bahamut's clergy here has been difficult, as they were otherwise engaged, and, well...
And then incapacitated.
What?
And then incapacitated.
In some regards, in some situations, but as you may know, clerics' methods of travel are not the most convenient things.
Stay silent at that.
But if we want to establish a foothold on the enemy's lands, we need to stop the fire elementals that are ravaging the land to be able to get access to this point. You should have access to a ritual known as Forbiddance,
I see.
which would allow you to cut off player travel in a large area. However, you're going to have to get uncomfortably close if we want to cover the primary points. We have a few other teams that will be doing the same job, as you won't be able to cover the entire area yourself, but with you here, we'll finally have enough to do it all at once, as opposed to trying to have them do it in multiple sections, which would likely have a strong response from whatever is causing this. The Master Clan to either awaken or whatever is creating these breaches. So, if we were able to create a distraction for you, do you think you'd be able to, you and your team, be able to hold a room without 90 feet across for the 10 minutes it takes to cast the spell?
He's going to look to Miss Melisari and Aurelion, specifically because, they've been the ones working together for a while. As well, 10 minutes is quite a long time to hold off any foe, especially while I cannot help my team. But I can at least summon some support. Since we have not had to fight anything today, I have access to all of my spells.
Melisari is grinning. Because Wall of Force lasts up to 10 minutes.
And just put a box of wall of force around him while he casts. So let me see. I'm gonna roll insight to see if Roland can guess at the meaning of that grin? Oh, probably. That's a 22.
I'm rolling deception and counter.
It would be deception if you're, like, trying to hide it. But if, like,
no.
this is, like, a grin you're hoping he's able to read into, then you'd probably just, yeah, like, nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you
at it.
could just deception just to see if passively he's just incapable of reading it.
Oh, wow.
He's dumb.
17?
I mean, that's a decent roll, but he did get a 22, so he'd still be able
good.
to penetrate it. So as he's talking, he kind of sees this grin spreading across her face, and you see him kind of like look at. He's trying to speak to the commander, but he just keeps kind of like, looking side-eyeing you, and then he kind of like is more fully looking at you as his words kind of taper off, and he goes, "Actually, sir, I think that we can handle that."
He'll nod that. Good. We'll be using a large portion of the army to draw out as many elementals and other creatures of the island as we can. But it does mean reinforcements will be lacking. If there's anything that you... the component will be covered by the army. If there's anything you need before this, I suggest you talk to either the alchemist or the quartermasters before we get started. We're planning to do this as soon as possible, because the longer we wait, the more things there will be for us to deal with. So, yes. So, with your confirmation that you can believe you can hold this position, he'll show you a map of a specific spot he'll need you to get to.
In addition, the spell damages types of creatures that you choose when you cast it. Choose one or more of the following: Celestials, Elementals, Fey, Fiends, and Undead.
Yes, this is the rebuff and incursion spell.
When a chosen creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, the creature takes 5d10 radiant or necrotic damage, your choice, when you cast the spell. Oh, there it is. I was looking, the reason I was reading it was because I was trying to find out if the materials were consumed, but they are.
We may have some celestial allies within the area when you cast it. So do not include them in the spell's effects.
One more time, I was reading. Don't include whomst.
Don't include celestials.
That makes
sense.
They have. They might have a planar ally or something.
Yeah. Feinstein's planar allies. Or other effects.
Man.
To get this deep, you will need to stop by the alchemist for a minimum of heat-resistant potions. They're trying to brew them in large batches. They don't do much for the actual attacks of elementals, but it helps you deal with the heat of the environment, along with the effects of simply being near these elemental creatures. So in gameplay terms, it means A, being near lava doesn't instantly kill you, and B, the effects of being near a fire elemental or attacking one that just kind of hits passively will be ignored.
Neat.
Without them, you'll likely have a hard to impossible time getting to the designated path or position. But, as I know most of you are not military yourselves, I assume you have questions.
You see that Roland kind of turns his body toward the other two. This seems to indicate that he considers himself military.
Fair enough.
And he's opening the floor to the others.
I'm trying to think. What questions should I have?
Oh, one other thing for the Forbidden's casting. Important thing to remember, the 10-minute casting isn't for spending the spell slot. 20 minutes if you try and cheat that with a ritual.
Wow. 100 minutes, yeah?
No, 20. It's not like it's a multiplier, it's just it adds 10 minutes to be a ritual.
Wow. Thought it was a multiplier.
Nope, that's why Sam often says, 10 minutes in action or 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay.
Are there any peculiarities to these elementals that you've been facing?
Define peculiarity. That word. That's Derek flub, not a character flub.
You remember our previous
Oh yeah,
battle
those
with
guys.
elementals. Those guys. Them's guys.
Yeah, the special fire elementals that, what was it? They started burning more strongly over time, and they didn't seem to come from any hole between planes.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna... What? Oh, okay. Sorry, looking through, notes to see if I have notes on our previous fire elementals question mark. But I'm gonna describe the, elementals that the possible elementals we fought. Do I know enough to frame it as, like, I understand this was kind of potentially odd, and I want to see if they have anything else odd, or if I'm framing it as, this is what we fought. Is this similar?
You may frame it either way you like.
I seem to remember we only looked deeper into it because they didn't match with any of our planar knowledge of elementals.
Okay, so then yes, I'm framing it as we fought these elementals that did this weird thing. So I wanted to sort of
Have you
compare
seen
to
something
that.
similar?
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't say that we have. I can say that they have features matching that description. But in case my memory is failing me, if you'll talk with Landemir, he should have access to any records we have regarding our encounters on the island. So, he should know, or if you end up having the time, you might be able to look over them yourself.
He's nodding thoughtfully. Yes, that would be helpful. How soon are we heading out?
Well, with this with your being the last group we need to have informed, I believe we'll be setting off in the morning. He'll stick to time. 6 or something.
Yes, I would definitely like to go through those notes. Help me prepare my spells for tomorrow, too.
Alright. It will take about a day's sail to get there. So as close as we can camp, and it is reasonably close for if the dragon awakes, but it's not for immediate response. This was a fallback point to plan. Well, turn injured too. So while we will be heading out in the morning, you'll have an additional day for any preparations you need to make. But if there are any supplies you need, get them now.
Supplies now, knowledge can be on the way. Got it.
Anything else?
What is the plan of pullback once the ritual is completed? It will prevent more elementals entering the area, and it will continuously injure elementals already in the area. But is that the end of our operation? Once it is finished, do we retreat, or are we expected to remain engaged?
Once your ritual is complete, pull out. If something happens and it is no longer possible to complete it, pull out anyway. There's no reason dying if you can't actually complete the job. But if that is the case, get word to us immediately, as we need to evacuate the entirety of the force.
Also, this dragon is already on this plane, so if it wakes up, the planar forbiddings will have no effect on the dragon, only further elementals.
That is correct. But
Also not a creature type that I can forbid with forbiddings, so we would have no further benefit from the spell in the case that the dragon wakes up. Just so that the commander is fully aware.
I'm aware. This stage of the plan is simply to eliminate the island's hostility, so we can actually investigate what is going on.
Indeed.
We haven't been able to get close enough to ascertain the full details of the situation. But until Philland itself is no longer fighting us, that will not be possible.
I have one asset that the commander has not been made aware of, then I would like to come forward about.
Oh?
My goddess has granted me a particular boon. Other clerics refer to this as a divine intervention. ability to call on her specifically in a time of great need. Though, due to Illustre's less powerful nature in the face of other such gods, she has not been able to grant me great wonders as other clerics can perform. However, I can still perform minor miracles and up to and including teleportation. So I would be able to ask for that should the need arise. Should be aware of that as well.
Alright. Now, what can you do this consistently?
It takes about a week of waiting before I am able to call upon this power again. Again, I believe this is because of my lady's lack of followers and resultant lack of strength. But as I spread the word of her, I imagine that she will gain power and her interventions will eventually be on par with other gods.
I see. Oh, it doesn't answer my question, so allow me to rephrase it. When you make this call, do you know with 100% certainty that she will answer?
I think so. I think
I
I don't
believe
have
so.
to. I don't have to roll for failure. It always works. It's just weak and has a longer cooldown, right?
Yeah, but
Like normal
part of
divine
it-
intervention has a chance of not answering. This one, I'm
Yeah.
like one of her only clerics, so she always answers. She just doesn't have.
as much to give. Yeah,
Right.
that's the gist of it.
Yeah. So I would say, forgive me. To answer your question, yes. Being one of the very few clerics in her employ, she is always prepared to respond at this time.
I'll note that. And then with your teleportation, is that simply a method for your team to leave? Or would this be a faster method of approach?
I did not understand.
He's asking more or less like, he doesn't know how many people you can teleport. Like, is this you trying to get your group out, or is this you trying to get the army in?
Oh. I was thinking to hold it in reserve in case the situation became dire. So I was imagining it as an escape plan or something that could allow the army to depart without being destroyed. If we use it to get in, then we are effectively stranded there. And I think that would be unsound as a tactical strategy.
Indeed. Unless you are left with no other option, it is my request that you hold on to that for if the Master Man should awaken. As a guaranteed intervention might be the only thing that either puts it back to sleep or at least gets our troops out to a more favorable position. From my understanding, Eskel here should be able to handle a emergency retreat for your group, if necessary.
He'll nod. And say, I have indicated the Temple of Bahamut here in camp as the point of recall for my holy symbol. So, if we need to beat a retreat, that's going to be our fastest way. Word of the limitation.
Sorry, he's nodding and is going to question actually what you're looking for right now, implementation. Was that everyone within 5 feet of you?
I am looking because I don't remember.
Yeah, I figured.
It's you and up to 5 willing creatures within 5 feet. So 6 creatures total.
That'll be able to get my group out. So, if it gets really bad, he's going to look to Roland. I hope that your goddess can lend her aid to the rest of the army. To which I think that Roland would hold solid eye contact with him and nod, stoically.
I want insight, because it kind of felt like there was a little bit of snark there. Well, insight for shit, that's 6.
Deception for Stark from Hoopst, just so I know who I'm rolling for.
Snark from Eskel, but also I'm curious about Roland too.
Eskel got an 18. And Roland,
I get to make separate rules.
Roland got a 4.
Oh hey, I also got a 4. Oh wait, no, I got a 6.
Roland seems like extremely serious. Like this is like you can see that change in him when when you told him to keep the money. Like he is accepting this responsibility and this trust that he's being given. Eskel is somehow unreadable to you, so you might assume that
Eskel
he's
is just fucking always unreadable to me, apparently. Too close.
He is an enigma.
I mostly just take him at face value.
It's a good face.
Very precious.
High value. High value face.
So just to go over it one more time, so there's our group, and then other portions of the army are also going over to effectively make a distraction, correct? Are we all going over as one unit and then splitting up, or multiple smaller units split around the area? And if this doesn't make any sense based on the mappings we've looked at, although I don't know if it's actually dark or not at this point, if we've actually been able to look at the map yet.
I'm confused by that last question.
Well, I was just gonna say if, like, if any part of what I'm asking is just completely ridiculous based on, like, what I have learned of the area, then, adjust accordingly. But also it occurred to me that I don't know if we had had sufficient time by this point, if we're meeting late enough in the night that I've actually been able to peruse the map.
You had not by this point.
Okay, that's what I figured.
The forces will be leaving from the docks in the morning, with the vast majority of them landing first, establishing a distraction and a foothold, while some of the others are moved to points that are closer to the tunnel entrances that will lead you further into the mountain. So, more or less, each of the Forbidden squads will have, like, their own smaller ships, or perhaps be doubled up in one.
Gotcha.
Uh, while the majority of the force will be on larger battleships heading towards, basically trying to kick in the front door and make as much of a basically piss off as much of the island as possible. That's the goal.
We are kicking the hornet's nest. Gotcha.
They're kicking it so you can go inside without being stung. At least as much.
Yup. Sounds like fun. Okay. What is our planned route then? I can take a little closer look at it over the map.
And I'll show you that from what you've seen, there is a little that Huni is on the backside of the island. And the route they've shown seems to be the shortest. It's possible there's another that could be quicker, but it's uncertain. This one only having a few turns makes it easy to remember, and not difficult to retreat out of if necessary. It's to about a 90-foot room, like a 90-foot radius, and it's kind of sphere-like, sloping from one side to the other. As far as being in the middle of rock goes, it's fairly open, but it's still a number of protrusions and some mildly active magma along the way, which is why I'll be needing those potions.
Oh, I love that.
Magma?
Not yet.
Along with a spot or two in cave itself, but you have to get
Liquid hot magma.
close enough to the
Got it.
you have to get close enough to the middle of them to actually kind of cover the whole area. Well, can't try to get your area.
Over the telepathic bond,
Oh yeah, that's a thing that we have.
Roland is going to say, you two should know that I will have access to 3 4th level spells, which I could use for Death Ward for the 3 of you, including Eskel. Or I could use the 4th level slots for Guardians of Faith, which could help protect you during the battle. But I will plan to use my 5th level slots for aid, which will increase everyone's vitality.
Nightmare will chime in. Since I'm sticking with you, you might want to stay on my back while you're doing the whole ritual thing, as moving might be a little tricky for you.
It would be in fact tricky, but if I have understood Ms. Melisari's green correctly, then we should have access to a wall of force, which would also prevent you from moving if you were inside it with me.
Unless she popped into the ethereal.
It extends into
Actually,
the ethereal
no.
plane.
Yeah, no, it's a wall of force.
You're right, I forgot about that.
That's one of the few things that
I'm
can cage
no
Nightmare.
mention.
So it would be, I have no problem with sticking with you, Knight.
Arbitrea.
Arbitrea. I was like, I know what it is. I don't.
I couldn't remember it in the shower the other day, and so I've made a point to remember it now.
Arbitrea.
It's bothering me.
I am always grateful for your kinship, your camaraderie. However, I think that you would find it claustrophobic if you were confined inside the Wall of Force, which we intend to use to protect myself.
Perhaps, but if it can contain both of us, I may do it anyways. As if something happens to make the wall go down, a second option would be best.
There's going to be a brief pause. That there's this pulse, I think, of appreciative emotion over the telepathic bond. Before he says, I very much appreciate you, Albatrea.
Thank you.
You're just very good at making special animal friends. Actually really cute.
Including my pet rabbit, Xander?
I forgot about that.
It was definitely the same rabbit the whole campaign?
Yep.
100%?
100%. Anyway, shit, there was one more question I had. I can't remember what it was now.
Wall of Force, Arbitrea.
Oh, no. I was gonna ask to the commander, have you faced any issues with, agents of Tiamat on your excursions to the island?
None directly at least. However, if they are what's causing the increase in incursions, it's likely your attempt to seal them will bring them out of the woodwork. Or stonework, as it were.
There is a wry grin that comes up as he said that.
Vascal would chime in. Okay. There is a strong possibility that there is involvement of the cult of Tiamat in trying to awaken this dragon. We haven't been able to prove it at this time, but I, at least on this council, strongly suspect it.
The others will nod at that, showing agreement.
I'm making another insight roll.
Against whomst? Vascal again.
No, the I want to get a feel of the how they're
Tell her what they really think of Vascal.
I mean, kinda, yeah. Just get a feel for how the level of their regard for Eskel, essentially. And it's an 11.
An 11.
An 11.
I mean, it seems genuine, but you can't be certain if the regard is for Eskel or for the, more or less the artifact he wields.
Yeah.
So it's, as far as you can tell, it's genuine or genuine by proxy.
Yeah.
They respect the artifact. They tolerate me.
Well, you know what? Proud mama is proud anyway. Doing her best not to show it.
Somebody needs to roll deception.
I am almost certainly failing hard.
Insight! Oh, wow. That's, Not rolling. Vascal. Insight. An 8.
16!
Well, let's see if your 16 holds up against Roland.
He always sees right through me.
It's that fatherly instinct of his. Insight on him is 21. So I think he sees that he sees that bit of emotion in you, maybe feels it over the bond, but he knows what's going on. He also sees that you're trying to conceal it, so he stays quiet. You see a little...
Feel it, though. I know he
You...
knows.
Oh yeah, you can see this mustache twitch. That little knowing smile hiding beneath it.
Remind me, this is going to sound completely out of the blue. Remind me to show you my Duolingo profile picture later.
I hope it's got a dad stash.
Anyway. Alright, so we have determined that they are probably regular fire elementals, but we're going to dig through the logs for good measure, and we will probably piss off some cultists of Tiamat.
Yay!
So it'll be hot magma, fire elementals, and Tiamat. And hopefully not a dragon.
Liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
Will it also have sharks with laser beams?
We have sea bass. They're extremely ill-tempered.
Okay, anyway.
Derek, they're going, I'm still not getting any of these references.
Unless there are further questions about your assignment, you are dismissed.
I want to hang back for the promised enemy logs, battle logs.
I don't have to roll it around anymore. He's no my responsibility.
Indeed.
Oh, you have to press space to see it.
I want all the information.
Alright, so then you will talk a list of things here.
I think my biggest thing would be wanting to know immunities of things that they've come across and any like special abilities.
$5 says they're immune to fire.
I guarantee that, yes. But we also fought flaming skulls once that were immune to cold, and I want to make sure I don't have that issue again.
Alright, so I'm gonna go through the large list of monsters I pulled up earlier that I have to trim down.
While you go through that.
So let's see here. There... Let's just go down the list in order, shall we? So, first thing, everything on the list that they've come across is immune to fire.
Yep.
One thing they've seen, but they don't expect to encounter, surely due to its size, is an aspect of fire, a gargantuan elemental.
Great. I'm not uncomfortable at all.
That is immune to fire and poison and resists non-magical weapons. However, it does seem to be not vulnerable to cold damage, but if you're able to cool it down enough, it does seem to freeze up. More or less turning its fiery and magma body to stone. And that it if it manages to find anything on that island to burn for fuel, that is beneficial for it, detrimental for you.
Yeah.
Fuels the creature itself. They wouldn't have seen those. They would have seen these. Another type of fire elemental that they have yet to categorize or name. It's not something that they've seen before, as far as I can tell. It's effectively new.
Wait, what? Sorry.
It is a type of fire elemental that they've not seen before, that don't have records of. So it's not something they have like a name for yet. But it's one that it flies. Its form is of these like glowing crystalline rods that spew forth flame. They are immune to fire, resistant to non-magical attacks. And occasionally, upon their death, one or two of their rods will remain, though they have yet to find a use for them. They are, if you manage to douse them in water, it does make them vulnerable to cold damage.
So we just need a really high level create order. Sounds great.
And that was, what size was that? Those are medium, so it's possible you'll find those. A large elemental, Cinderhole.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Immune to fire, immune to poison. Does not have the resistances. Can emit waves of embers and ash. And will do so when it dies.
All of these just sound so fucking awesome.
Oh no, it's immune to poison. We won't be able to use any of our poison abilities. All of our poison abilities are worthless.
Magma elemental. Immune to fire, immune to poison.
A thought, unless you want to go through the list, you're perfectly welcome to go through the whole list, but it occurs to me that we could just say, I look at the things, now I know, when we get into a battle, I will recognize things, because I think, based on what I'm hearing, it's not gonna affect, what spells I choose.
Sure. So, let me just...
But all your poison spells.
I'll just mention two more, because their list is somewhat extensive, as these have some mildly unique features.
Okay.
A number of the... Pretty much anything that has elemental as part of its name is able to move through small spaces, regardless of its size. Including fire elementals, magma elementals. I think there might be one more, but... and most things, pretty much everything on this list is immune to fire, immune to poison, and likely resistant to non-magical attacks. But only with the only creature that has a particularly, well, the creatures left like particularly noteworthy features are the fittingly named Magma Land Shark. It's similar to a bullet, but, made of lava. It tunnels through volcanoes, and, making use of the stone to feel its form, and more or less burning to ash anything it encounters.
All the good things.
All the good
And then an
things.
interesting thing that they have found, which seems to be some sort of cross between a elemental and an undead, a firegeist.
That also sounds awesome.
A surprisingly stealthy elemental, able to hide in the bright lights as opposed to the dim lights. The bright lights of flames versus the dim lights of shadow. That will burn targets alive or have them literally set alight by their fears. So, good luck with that.
I'm afraid of water. You're on fire now. What? Oh no, I never thought I'd see the day.
But,
Have we seen anything that indicates anything would be able to turn invisible?
no. The closest thing is the Firegeist, which they don't turn invisible, they simply
Like a
hide,
super
blending
fucking
in with
stealthy.
the
Okay, excellent.
brightness of the area as opposed to the darkness.
So just put out all the fire and then we'll be able to see it. Got it.
Good luck with that.
Turn off the volcano.
Turn off the volcano. You heard it here, folks. Flip that switch.
What's the likelihood of this volcano doing a whole ass eruption while we're there? I put in more elegant terms.
What?
I mean, do you want the logical approach or the this is a D&D game where it's the last few sessions?
The logical. Well, I mean, I guess there's something to be said for Murphy's Law here.
The general consensus is it's been dormant for a long time, but the additional elemental energies could more or less awaken it.
Awesome. So we're not just
So
worried about the dragon waking up, but its whole volcano. Got it.
Yes. Possible, but they're not betting on it. Anywho. I think that's it for, there are some, and like the other creatures are very wildly in difficulty, for lack of a better word. Some basic soldiers are able to fail in a blow or two. Others will require coordinated assaults. But those are typically too big to fit down in the lower sections.
If there is... Am I talking to, like, the primary magic person?
Sure.
Or, I mean, I guess I'm looking through the logs, but if that was who they said had them, right?
Yes. One of the two, at least. You're talking to Landemir.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him... I'm, like, kind of going back and forth between, like, the logs and maybe riffling through my spellbook here and there. Do you think there will be any merit in having the ability to... yeah, clairvoyant. If there's gonna be areas that we'll want to sort of scout ahead as we're going. Or is it since we're just going in guns blazing, so to speak, or fireballs blazing.
As your destination is rather fixed, I would wager it would be more worth it to reserve the spell slot for someone to deal with the problems you would find there, rather than knowing them.
Nodding.
I tend to prefer to know what a problem is when I can avoid it. But it's by no means a universally held opinion.
I think I am satisfied with that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And she's continuing to kind of riffle through her spell book and think, maybe mutter to herself here and there.
My pleasure.
Be able to talk to them. I imagine that I'm sort of like muttering this to myself, carrying my book out the door. Or have we been dismissed? Right, and I
Yes,
stuck
you have
around to
been.
kind of look through the things, and I've now basically
I
dismissed.
will say, I wouldn't recommend wasting your breath. Most of these creatures are elemental of rage, not
Not
thinking
higher thought
creatures.
capacity.
A lot of elementals more or less start that way. They grow into thinking creatures over time.
Good to know.
Like the Jinn, Ifrit.
Mm-hmm. How do you think... Shit, she was a Jinn, right? Did they have, like... Are they associated with specific elements? Like, I know Ira was, like...
Jinn are basically wind elemental nobles. Ifrits are fire elemental nobles.
Gotcha.
There's another one for earth and water, but I don't know what they are offhand.
Yeah, okay.
They all have their own things, and they all tend to still be somewhat bound to alignment.
Anyway, since this guy seems to have some good knowledge on elementals, she's gonna kind of turn back with a sudden thought and say, how pissed off do you think an air element or a Jinn would be to be called to a place like this?
Does she like, or not much? Does it like you?
He certainly doesn't dislike us. And we'd like to keep it that way, or I would. She's teaching me how to speak primordial. Right, it was primordial?
That or Orin.
Yeah. Oh. No. They're primarily opposed to fire and earth. So they might be happy, they might not, depending on which way they take it. They'll either be pleased to be able to destroy some of their natural enemies, or more or less angered that face them. So, probably depends on if it's a warrior or not, or if it's just pure. Well, I suppose if it's just pure elements, then you wouldn't have to be worried if it's upset.
Okay, well, thank you again. All things to think about, all things to think about. I remembered a question that I had intended to ask during the meeting. I was gonna ask, since they said if we're unable to do it, we should let them know immediately. Are we going to have access to, like, a sending stone or something along those lines for this mission, so that we can let them know immediately.
You would have access to something that can more or less. Like, doesn't really send a message, but will notify them. Think of it like a signal flare or something like this. It's just like it makes something in the commander shop basically light up with a different
I love
thing for
just
each thing.
how, like,
Creature.
magic-oriented I am, and that it didn't even occur to me to have, like, a non-magical signal. Or at least a signal that didn't have to be cast. Or, like, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it is a magical signal. It's a very simple one.
Yeah.
But the general idea is for that to only be used if the cleric doing the casting is dead.
Incapacitated.
He said dead.
Yeah,
No.
well. Oh, Jesus! I just noticed the lines of coffins next to the other tent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark.
You gotta have a
Look.
tent where you're treating the injured, and you can't always treat them.
Oh, hey, side note. Since we all saw... Shit, I forgot what we've been calling him.
But the general idea is that if they're not dead,
Mr. Wish.
that cleric can cast sending if something goes wrong.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. I mean, if they prepared.
They're under orders. They will have prepared it.
They're under orders to prepare. Got it.
But I am under orders to prepare sending.
Look, man, I'm the one handling that shoot. I just want to go over it.
Alright, then you have to ask it in that voice.
Oh, jeez.
You had a question, Kate?
He's avoiding it!
You're damn
Since we
right.
all saw Mr. Wish last session, do we all get inspiration?
Sure.
Inspirational.
So, aside from picking up your heat-resistant potions, are there any preparations that you guys want or need to make?
I'm ready to fly in this Leroy Jenkins style.
Excellent. Perfect analogy.
Ooh, I wonder if there are any spells I can learn before we go in. That would be really helpful. I guess I'm gonna actually throw that out there to this magic user person as we're discussing
The answer from the
things.
room is, I don't know offhand. You're gonna have to just look.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fine.
Pascal's coming with us, right?
Yes.
And Roland is staying, doing something else.
Roland's
is Roland
technically
gonna give
also
up
going
his,
with you, he's just not going to be part of the party.
Yeah, he's doing buffs and minor prep, but
Something
he's
else.
doing the main casting, so...
Yes. Is he going to keep his circlet?
Oh. Oh.
I mean...
I have been very specifically not bringing it up, but I have been wondering if somebody else would.
Oh.
I think he would want to, so he's probably going... Like, he's gonna keep it long-term. He might be willing to relinquish it for this specific encounter.
Good.
if you're waiting to hear from me, Derek, because it is your decision as you're now running him, my only weigh-in on it is that I have always run Roland as somebody who is very willing to do whatever is needed to make the people that he is working with feel safe and supported.
Alright. Then, if Eskel wants it, he would offer it for this mission, as he wouldn't be able to make much use of it while casting or in a bubble. And letting the lot of you all communicate freely would be useful, especially leaving Eskel cut off.
Circlet of Psychic Enhancement is an attuned item. Eskel has an open attunement slot. It makes sense that they'd be able to communicate better in combat and not distract Roland. You'd probably want to take it off.
So, with that in mind, especially with Aurelion bringing it up, they will. So, Eskel, we travels with. Nah, fuck it. I can't do it. Accents are never my thing.
It was a valiant effort, though.
It was.
I appreciate it.
I agree.
We
I'm
have
very Romanian.
come across
Not
some
Romanian, even Bulgarian.
circlets that have allowed for telepathic communication. I would like to find this distracting while trying to complete the ritual. So if you would like to use it to help keep in contact with the others for this expedition, you may use it. So I would like it returned once it is over.
Oh, well, that does sound extremely useful. Yeah, if you believe that it would be a distraction, then I will use it during this operation.
So with that, you will take it off and kind of look at it for a minute, then hand it over. You will need to attune to it, but that's not a problem.
I think that, Eskel will receive it with the same reverence with which it is given to him. Right. It doesn't come up when I search for it with Eskel. Is he not part of the campaign anymore?
He is not
He's
part of
not part of the campaign. Can't have the custom item. That's okay. It doesn't add any stats, and we know what it does, so...
Yeah. If you want, you can re-add Eskel to the campaign.
It's fine. It's honestly fine.
Oh.
Because again,
Well, he's just a deactivated character. It's just literally one button. Oop.
Elementals still. Nah, it doesn't matter.
Precious page. I can add it now. There it goes. Wow. Wild that there's a bunch of circlets that weren't showing up. You must have some books that I don't have.
I don't.
Is Sam still in the campaign?
Technically, I think so, yeah.
So he probably has some books that I don't have. Oh. There it is, psychic enhancement.
Oh, bugger.
Oh. Doesn't have the armor of warding anymore. Go back to his half plate. That uses AC the same anyway. Alright, there we go. So he had 2 unused attunement slots. Hilarious.
Alright, we'll check something then. If that's the case... Oh, it's not even a, where is it? So then he could also offer up the quiver.
We did say that we wanted to make that available to him, didn't we? Quiver of Elemental something or other, right?
Quiver of Elemental Infusion.
That's the one. Add to the
As is.
thing. And bang. Alright, now he's got no available attunement slots. But he can shoot lightning arrows.
Alright, so are there any other tasks or things?
I don't
None come to my mind.
think so. See if there's abjuration spells that would be useful.
Uh, one question for Kristen.
Mhm.
Would Roland have any interest in trying to cast Planner Ally or something to that effect on the boat, like on the way over?
And a 5th level spell?
It's 6,
He
but it's in the day that you'd have to, like, it's the day of prep you would have.
Oh, okay. In that case, I suppose so. The only other 6th level spell I usually like to cast is, Hero's Feast, but we have to do that the day of, so he wouldn't be able to.
Yep.
In that case, yeah, let's see. Planar ally, where are you? Oops, I'm looking in the wrong list. Planar ally is just verbal and somatic. Duration is instantaneous. Casting time is 10 minutes. Interesting. Creature appears, no compulsion. Behave in a particular way. Ask the creature to perform a service in exchange for payment. Isn't obliged to do so. Requests can range. Flies across chasm. Help us fight a battle. I guess we would say help us fight a battle.
Yep.
Variety of forms. A celestial might require a sizable donation of gold or magic items to an allied temple, while a fiend might demand a living sacrifice or gift of treasure. Some creatures might exchange their services for a quest. I think it would be very interesting, honestly. See celestial bound to Illustray wants in exchange for such a service. So yeah, since I'm allowed to use my 6th level spell on the day before, Roland will cast Planar Ally, summoning a celestial bound to Illustray, and beseech it to help them with the upcoming battle. Its service not extending past, like 1 week from today at the longest. It'll probably only be 1 day, but he's just making sure that he's not saying, help us with the battle, and the creature isn't like, the battle could last years, technically, if it's a war. So, this is, help us with the battle that we engage in tomorrow. Service is not extending longer than 1 week from now.
Let me just double check a thing real quick. I think I have his spell slot. His spell was sorted for the next day. So you're casting Planar Ally. Something I'd forgotten about until I went and saw that spell on the list. So I need to look up a Celestial. Un momento, por favor.
Christ. Western North Carolina is fucked.
I saw Magic Circle and got excited. Because it would be a non-concentration way of protecting you.
Yep.
And then I saw the minute casting time, and I'm like, I don't know that I have time to take 10 rounds to cast that.
10 rounds.
Well,
Unless
it's
we were
only
real
10
weak.
rounds against the 100 he's going to be spending.
Yeah, well. Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
or he managed to get in there quietly. Hey, you can cast it beforehand. But let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find something that's like thematic to what would be showing up here.
Actually, it's still not a bad strategy. Because... damn it. Not a great strategy either. No, wait. It's not a possible strategy. Carry on, don't mind me.
Why is it not a possible strategy?
Well, what I was thinking was, we go in, I lay down a wall of force to protect us while I cast Magic Circle, and then I'm like, I can't cast Magic Circle while concentrating on a spell, can I?
Why not?
It's a minute cast time. Can I focus on 2 different spells at the same time?
Well, it's not a concentration spell, so by the rules, you can cast it.
This bothers my brain.
Like, I see exactly where you're coming from, but, like, the way things are written, so long as you're not casting a concentration spell or preparing to cast a spell, you're not concentrating on something else.
Okay. Well, maybe that is something then that I want to
I will say that...
actually, no. Like, normally you're correct, but the fact that this spell has more than a single action cast time means that it becomes a concentration spell for the duration of casting.
Where'd you see that?
When you cast a spell with a casting time longer than a single action or reaction, you must spend your action each turn casting the spell, and you must maintain your concentration while you do so. If your concentration is broken, the spell fails.
Okay. So yes,
There you
not
go.
a possibility.
That's just from the spell casting section in the player's handbook.
Haven't looked at it recently enough.
No, I know. It's entirely what you said was entirely reasonable given the way the rest of the rules are written. It's just that once you're casting a spell with more than an action cast time in combat, then it's like, okay, now it's a concentration spell for, intents and purposes.
Okay. Well, I couldn't find anything better, so you're getting the bog standard Deva.
What?
For the planar ally.
Wait, but repeat what you actually said again.
I couldn't find anything better, so you're getting the bog standard Deva.
Okay.
Let's see.
I think I still want to have it in my wheelhouse for this, just in case.
Though this Deva will have the appearance of a drow. Is it large? No, it's medium. Okay. So, at the completion of your spell, you'll see basically a winged drow-like figure appear in some. What need has the foremost child of this journey?
More pride.
Pride in Dad?
Yeah, I can be proud of my dad. Jesus. I mean, what are you talking about? Dad, that's weird.
My group wishes to engage in combat against creatures from another plane in service to the Temple of Bahamut, and for the protection of the people of this plane. We beg you for aid in this battle. We are uncertain how long it will take, so I would not think to extend your to engage your services longer than 1 week from today.
I see. And what is it you offer in exchange for this service?
The destroyer already has my undying devotion, and the fact that I am spreading the word of her greatness as far as I can. All I have left to offer besides my own soul is gold or magic items. What would be a reasonable offer, Great One?
Of course, I accidentally closed the tab that has spell open. Remember it has like a price range or something like that.
What I'm reading didn't. It just said a bunch of gold, basically, or magic items to be donated to a related temple. Like, they're saying that they won't necessarily take the payment themselves, but they are supporting the following of the god.
Okay, yeah, it does. So it's a task that can be measured in hours is typically 1,000 gold pieces per hour. Task measured in days requires up to 10,000 gold per day.
Hold on, let me check how much money we have. We've only got 13,000 gold.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Which is slightly less than I thought we had.
We're hoarders.
So we can afford that in gold. I think that because the headband is Roland's, ultimately, and he no longer needs it to communicate with, Arbitrea, I think that he would mention the headband as something that he would gift to Illustre, as it was something that had been incredibly important in his journey and helped him in forging his alliances, and therefore should be very meaningful to, symbolically, to Illustre.
Yeah. Me, Deva will nod this in thought and say, huh. Then I will offer you two options. You may either pay me for the time that you end up needing to be guarded/assisted. Well, not me, but put those funds towards founding a temple. Or, when this is done, I want you to switch from your group and work more directly towards Illustre's goals.
He's already given up the headband to Eskel, hasn't he? Damn it!
Yes. Are we all present during this, by the way? Is this happening on the boat ride over?
On the boat, yeah.
Yes. It has to be on the boat. It's the only time he has the spell slot free and be able to
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's going to ponder this, and I think that for the benefit of the party, I think that they're going to notice that he's sort of making a bigger show of pondering it than he normally does. You know, kind of, like, straightening his mustache with his fingers as he runs them down his chin in like, deep thought, before looking back, to the Deva and saying, "Would I be permitted to take an ally with me, if they were willing?"
You may. I take all of them if you wish, but
I simply
your
asked for...
heading must be directly
Yes.
in line with Illustre's goals.
You think at that he's going to turn to Arbitrea, and as he does so, you know, making sure to turn his body past the rest of the group, and just sort of make eye contact with each of them, raising his eyebrows. You get from this, you know, like he's trying to convey, "That's lucky."
Yeah. I'm doing my best to keep a straight face, as I'm kind of thinking to myself, wasn't he gonna do that anyway?
And he's going to turn to Arbitrea and say, "Well, my friend, what do you think of this prospect? Separating ourselves from the others after the battle to pursue the light and the goals of Illustre? Would you consider traveling with me to see that end?"
I will go where you go. Whether in a goddess of redemption, is it? Or perhaps freedom? Either seems perfectly palatable to me.
And you are always free to do as you please, my friend. But I cherish your company. I think at that he'll turn back to the Deva and say, "Then Illustre owns my heart. I will turn my goals to hers, as soon as this battle is concluded, and our betrayer shall accompany me to help me see that gold through. This I swear in her name, and to you, Right One.
The devil will nod that and say, when we have an accord, I shall stay with you until the fight has begun. Well, correction, until our deal has reached its end, would probably be the phrase I've used.
Be welcome and are grateful for your strength of arms.
And to put it in like a little bit of perspective, at least for the players, the devil was aware that Eskel was wanting to leave, but having him more or less formally remove the option to stay is kind of what it was looking for. As emotions can drive one to not always make the best choices.
Mm-hmm.
But alright, are there any other prep things? Did you find any spells you wanted to try and learn?
I think it would be good to have magic circle in the wheelhouse just in case. Since
I
Wall
will
of Force
say
is such a high
that
level spell.
Roland is also capable of casting it.
Well, Roland's gonna be busy casting the other one.
True, but
Unless he casts it first, which is possible. Protect him for a minute while he casts the one, and then continue protecting him while he casts the other.
Are we not using Wall of Force for it anymore?
We are. I just wanted to have backup plans because I can only cast Wall of Force 3 times, so if my concentration is broken multiple times, you know, we become SOL.
Gotcha.
the reason
Well, not SOL, but we lose our,
your primary
gimmick.
life, that's the reason I bring it up is because the main idea is that Forbidden will possibly stir up some additional hordes towards you. But if you're able to get in there quietly beforehand, you might be able to cast Magic Circle without raising the alarm, as it were. As it is a much smaller area.
Yes, that would probably be a good idea. I think, anyway. If Roland is open to this strategy. In which case, maybe I will take Clairvoyance and kind of
If that
use
falls
it.
under when he will be under my control, I will say yes. Yes, he is.
Or hang on, Arcane Eye. Hang on a second. Do I have Find Familiar? No, I don't think I do. I decided to do Unseen Servant instead.
God, it took so long for me to wrap my head around the fact that you didn't need to spend any actions to continue concentrating on spells in 5e, because that was, like, the whole concept of concentration spells in 4e.
Yep. My inner sustain. Okay. New plan. I'm going to learn... Arcane Eye if they have the ability, because if we're gonna try and start this off a little bit more quietly, it would be a little more useful to be able to scout a little bit.
Alright. Doesn't that have a material component?
A bit of bat fur.
Okay, so that's not the one I was thinking of.
What you call it?
I was probably thinking of clairvoyance or something.
Which I do have.
But yeah, you could learn that.
Excellent, excellent. Now I have to do math. Let's see, my glasses further decrease the stuff. Okay, yes.
People that have finished their camp day preparations, I am moving them to the boat.
Half an hour. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking genius, guys.
We know. That's why I like you.
Alright. 2 hours and 50 gold pieces.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm like doing math, like, okay, so I divide by 4 and then I multiply by 4. Hey, cool. Got it.
Alright, so you jump down a new spell in the evening with remarkable speed from the sounds of it, compared to the wizard that wrote it down in the first place.
Look, I'm just very, very good at divination spells. They just make sense.
Indeed. They're definitely never weird or cryptic.
Not at all. What are you talking about? That's definitely not the whole point of, or the whole thing with divination.
Should have seen that coming.
Hurt.
Divination jokes.
Indeed. Well, is that all for the prep? Shall we get moving to volcano things?
Feeling pretty volcanic right now. Wait.
I heard the word wait.
The wait was part of my joke.
Oh.
Yeah, we can move to volcano things. At least
right.
I'm ready. Everybody else has not said no, so...
I think I'm ready. I'm just really interested in the change from Arcane Eye from 2014 to 2024. In that 2014, it specifies that there's no limit to how far away from you the eye can move, but it can enter a different plane of existence.
Yep.
And the new one doesn't say either of those things.
Yeah, I don't look at the new one.
I was just curious. I'm going to use Legacy anyway, I assume.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I everything I have tangentially heard or incidentally read about 24 has been one of those, okay, but why?
yeah.
Just to get some visual confirmation, everyone who is ready to move on, please move your token to the boat.
To the boat. Oh, right. Askel was over by the unicorn. Totally
I got
not
stuck
getting
somewhere.
stabbed.
There I am.
Look at this shit. We got a boat!
Alright. Well, looks like all of the tokens are here. Because no one has made a comment on Arbitra's preferred position to watch from.
I mean, I'm flying. I feel like I'm flying.
But I will.
Nice job on the boat, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, there's cannons on it and everything. Holy shit.
Only a few, but yeah, some. Regardless, we have about half an hour left, so I will.
He's ready to fire the cannons.
Who's firing the
So
cannons?
Apparently.
We're trying to be sneaky.
Aureliana's down there just popping open the cannon ports.
So the day has come, and you'll see the battle has begun to commence on basically the north side of the island. As your ship starts sailing around to the south. You'll be able to land without incident, and I want some survival checks to follow basically to follow your directions to the cavern you're trying to get to.
Survival. Who am I rolling as? Am I just Eskel at this point?
You are just Eskel at this point.
Okay.
Roland, let's do the prep thing. So he will have cast at 8 at 5th level, I believe you said.
One more time on that question. I was reading something.
You were gonna have Roland cast 8 at 5th level was the plan.
5th level aid, and then he could either do 3 death wards, or he could wait until they get to where he's going to be casting, and do 3 guardians of faith.
Unless you guys have a input you want to apply to that, he's going to wait and make that decision once you're in the end cave, basically.
So 5th level age, give everybody plus 20 HP, I believe.
It's 5 by default, 70 spells, so it's 20 extra health each. Can cast it twice to make sure it hits everybody.
Yeah,
So
how many of us are there?
6. And it only hits 3 by default.
Ooh. Get so used to the hit everybody in range from BG3.
Yeah. But you all have 20 additional hit points. And I still need survival checks from...
Yep, I rolled my survival check, I just hadn't announced it yet.
Oh.
It's a 15.
15, and... Well, sorry?
Wow.
Melly.
What a fucking tease.
Melly, no.
Oh, also, new day, new portents.
Yep, will do. Survival 5. It rolled up my wrist rest thing, and it was looking higher, but it rolled like...
Alright.
I don't know how to describe it, but it was it's a tease.
Well, while you remember the maps, you're having a hard time translating them into directions in this 3D space. Well, luckily, Aurelion seems to be able to lead the way with some assistance from Escal as well. And you're able to start making your way in. And Are you guys charging through, walking, stealthing? What's the, like the kind of the pace there?
Stealth, maybe?
Oh, right, and I was gonna cast Arcane Eye to kind of scout ahead of us.
Okay.
Sorry, I just want to let you guys know. I worry that this bodes ill. Both portents dice rolled 13.
Oh, that's just unfortunate on a number of levels.
Can't make us good, you can't make them suck.
I just didn't really regard it as an unlucky number too.
Yeah, that was more what I was going with. I mean, at the very least, it's a guaranteed success on a death save.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not nothing.
Also, pardon my background noise.
Alright. So if you're going stealth, I need stealth checks from all of you. And
I was about to say, I'm just gonna use my fucking portents, cause... But it occurs to me that I can just do that after I roll now.
yep. Well, the NPCs stealth like a boss, so if you fail, it's your fault. So let's rock in the 17.
Alright, come on, Eskel. You don't have disadvantage because of medium armor master, so don't fuck up. You fucked up.
Oh dear.
I have inspiration. Roll the inspiration. That's much better. That's an 18 total.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm debating if I want to use inspiration or one of my 13. I guess I'll just also use my inspiration and probably still roll shitty. Yes, it is!
What?
I rolled a fucking nat 1 on my inspiration roll.
You were right, the 13s were devastating.
Well, luckily, most of the combat will take place in a separate session, at the very least.
Yeah, maybe my dice can get their shit together by then. Fucking hell.
Alright. Monsters. Oh no, it's the long list. I need the short list.
Wasted both inspiration and a portents roll.
What's your perception? Alright. You don't notice anything. You don't notice anything.
Right, but
You'll
I was
be able
still
to.
supposed to do my arcane eye to scout ahead of us. I forgot about that.
You'll be able to notice up ahead through your arcane eye. Which I suppose I'll let you guys have an advantage on stealth, which will have some warning as to what's coming up, so you can take your inspirations back.
Okay.
You'll see magma and smoke mythids, which are small elementals, not large threats, but they do make things uncomfortable when they die up close.
Gotta
Usually
love the exploding things.
Their core trait is they explode into their element. You will have had to have taken your potions by this point, but they're meant to last like 8 hours, so you'll die before those things run out.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You're welcome.
I know what you mean, but like, just the way it sounded.
You're welcome.
Look, I burn twice as bright.
My goodness. As you fall from the sky like a fucking meteor, you mean?
It's a legitimate strategy.
So,
I mean, you took one of them out of the fight, so. Anyway.
as these creatures do not pose much threat to you, I'm not going to have you, like, roll initiative and fight them. As I don't think they can hit most of you.
We just fucking splinter cell it and take them all out.
More or less, like with Nightmare still able to go to the ethereal plane, she can stealth drop 2 other people.
If they're
It's like,
clumped up,
yeah,
I
like,
have Ice Knife!
like for the record, they are like challenging you 1/2 and 1/4. Like,
Bop.
So basically, if they're clustered together, one Ice Knife, well-placed Ice Knife, would probably pop them.
it certainly would on the magma ones, as they are vulnerable to cold. And you'll want to take those out for a range because they explode into fire, whereas the ones explode to smoke, not as inherently problematic. They have some saves which could be frustrating, but they, as far as their basic attacks go, their hits are like +3, +4. Yeah. They will not be scratching your armors. I mean, well, sorry, maybe, but
Rude.
Crit. Crit.
you're able to move through without any real expenditure of resources. You'll see 1 or 2 fire elementals that you'll be able to avoid with your stealth. Just kind of waiting for them to go into a different tunnel as they start to be moving about. So, in short, you will reach the cavern without having alerted the enemy. So let me move us to that board.
Good job, us.
Yay, us. Yes.
Where? How do I jump again? Is this one? No. This one? No. This one? Yes. Uh, Tokens. Boop. 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 Forgot to make the demo unique. Uh, where's... Oh, right. Forgot to make the Haskell unique. Or Haskell, whatever. One moment.
I am not a coding language.
Yeah, well, your name's still spelled the same. So I feel more justified in always pronouncing it that way at the start.
Doesn't Haskell have 2 L's?
Close enough.
And that's why I am Eskel.
Thank you. Go back to the board you guys are on. data. And directly under H. There you go. Alright, that's the full crew.
We're so adorable.
Tristan, would you like to control the data, or shall I do its things?
I mean, technically, we only have an agreement that the Deva will help, so it makes the most sense that it's going to determine how best to help. I never told that it has to follow my orders.
Fair enough.
Might have been a smart thing to do, but I didn't do it.
So, there isn't like this big wide platform this morning where I wanted you guys to have your tokens spawned in. The room is empty, but this is the chamber that the map's depicted, and where you need to do your rituals. So pick where you want to set up, more or less. And watch your step.
Watch my step.
While being near lava won't kill you, I'm still gonna hurt you if you touch it.
Is there lava in this trough here?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't, like, something I should be seeing that I wasn't seeing. I think that Eskel's gonna kind of do his classic attempt to stack up on the door so that he can be ready to strike at anything inside and get himself a view of what's going on in there.
As stated, the room appears to be empty. Or else you can figure out where you think you can best protect Roland. Anywhere in the room should work. You don't have to like be in the center, especially since the center is pit. But place needs to be picked.
Sorry, it occurred to me a little bit ago that there was one more adjustment or set of adjustments that I could potentially make, courtesy of Tasha's. I could swap out some cantrips if I so desire.
I choose to believe that our Deva's name is
Did I spell it?
Deva is DEVA.
Yeah, I did. I'm tired.
She just flies in there like, nerf this. And then she explodes.
I don't like the look of that fire pit.
Talking about it, it's great. It's only like 30 feet deep and full of fire.
Yeah, I don't like the look of that at all.
Fine. Easy, you
Then
just
don't fall
go
in.
down it.
Thanks.
See, he gets it. Now, seriously, like, where are you guys wanting to set up?
I guess if the room is clear and we're able to enter, I think everyone else is going to go ahead of him. Eskel will attempt to lead the way, since I guess from a certain standpoint, member Bahamut here, sort of in charge of this operation. So are we supposed to set up inside the circle? Is that what I'm understanding? Or outside it?
Sorry, that's my circle. I'm
Oh.
debating
Yeah,
if going up there would be beneficial to me or if I would cut myself off from being able to shoot a lot of things.
you can set up anywhere inside the box.
Eskel's gonna get himself a little bit of cover over here. Do we know if this is the target area or if this is on the way to the target area?
This is the target area.
Okay, so we need to find some place for Roland to post up where he'll hopefully be out of line of fire.
Indeed.
In the fire pit.
Okay.
I think that's literally the line of fire.
It is a vertical line of fire.
I will not be making the tactical decision of where Roland stands, so that one is one part is up to you guys as a group.
I mean, with a wall of force around him and Arbitrea beneath him, he might just be able to fly above the hole and be inside the box so nobody can accidentally fall in.
Yeah, that could be an option.
What do you think of that, Melisari?
Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out with my spells here. Huh, interesting. Anyway, sorry, what was your, what was the suggestion?
First suggestion was ride horse above hole.
And have wall of force around horse, which has a twofold purpose. They're centered, but they're protected by the wall of force, and they'll have a magic circle eventually, probably. But also now the wall of force can prevent anyone that we want from going in the hole, or anyone at all from going in the hole by accident.
Okay.
I don't know if we want the hole as a place to drop enemies down, but given that they're all supposedly fire elementals, I don't think it serves.
Yeah, I mean, unless we do end up getting some cultist attention. But even then, I think we can manage without dropping them into a hole.
I only suggest it as an option to keep open because we've seen that Aurelion enjoys it.
Oh, tossing enemies into holes. What's in this hole?
Those are openings to further tunnels, basically, into them. In short, those are places where things can come from.
No, I meant this hole.
Yes.
Part of me wants to crawl into this hole.
Wouldn't recommend.
I do not intend to. That's why I said a part of me. And not, I'm going to climb into the hole. Hmm. Yeah, I think maybe I do want to go up on top of that little plateau. Is there any chance of me being able to climb up? No, my athletics is -1.
I mean, you could try.
Yeah, my athletics is -1. I'm gonna pass on that try. All right, no, just waste spell slots. It's fine. Magic, Misty, step my way up here. God damn it. Oop. Is this a sturdy surface, by the way? Because it kind of looks like mushrooms.
It is a sturdy surface. It's all rock.
Okay.
I think it's a sulfur, actually. which, dissolved rock.
Okay. I am up here. I have been mage armored. I have been... Oh, hey. There was something I was going to suggest to Eskel of if he can still do protection from evil and good on 2 people and isn't planning on concentrating on anything else.
Good plan. Although, protection from evil and good is definitely best against, like, fiends.
Elementals is an option, though.
Is it?
I believe so.
Oh.
It's elemental, let's say,
Aberration Celestials,
extraplanar entity.
Elementals.
I didn't remember that. Elementals was one of the options. Okay, yeah. Because I was going to say, Shield of Faith, but yeah, if Elementals is an option, then Disadvantage is way better than +2.
Yep.
Alright, so... one for you and one for... Probably for Aurelion, just because he always protects other people before he protects himself. And he knows that Roland is going to have a ton of protection anyway.
I don't know if that's so much a choice as just nature of Barbarian Rage. Oh, no, Eskel already... Okay, never mind, sorry. Said nothing.
Alright, well. This thing. Well, unless there are other prep actions you guys will wish to take, I believe we can start next session with the magic circle.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's one thing. Do you guys want Roland to give out death wards or to place Guardians of Faith?
Aurelion.
How many guardians?
3. He can, yeah. He can place up to 3. Guardians are big and can strike all the area around them.
Guardians might be useful just to cover potential entrances.
That is a thought. I was thinking to myself, ooh, just pop a Guardian right on me. We'll just be buddies up here if anything comes and tries to hit me while I'm taking pot shots at everybody. But no, that is a solid strategy.
And hilariously, just for a third color of this thinking, my thinking had been 3 Guardians just around him, blocking him from being attacked from 3 sides, in melee at least.
So much protection over Roland.
I mean, either he succeeds in casting this, or we fail our mission.
Yep. I mean, I care more about surviving than succeeding, but I know it's important to the others. Yeah, any of those are reasonable options. I do not have strong feelings for any of the above. Other than I do kind of want one up here with me.
It sounds like people want Guardians of Faith instead of Death Ward.
Alright.
Oh, so.
Okay.
Watches all
so-
the instant kill monsters come in.
Right.
Guardians of Fate last until they do a certain amount of damage, right?
Yes.
Up to 8 hours until the damage pool is reduced to 0, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember. It was that one shot where so Tristan and myself both happened to choose life clerics, and we went up against a vampire.
Did not go well for that vampire.
Yeah, we didn't communicate beforehand what we were playing, what class we were choosing. We just both turned up with life clerics, and I what was it? We were fighting him in like an abandoned church or something like that,
Yes.
Yes.
and
I
I
was
put
there for this one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, there was like the steps down into like the cellar, so I put a thing, one of these
Spirit
lads,
guardians.
guardian on the steps.
So good.
And because my whole thing was like, oh, I knew that vampires like try to escape, but it turns out he had tried to summon like swarms of bats, and my guy just they were just getting annihilated. Every single swarm that just tried to come up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good time. Good time. I don't get my own personal guardian of faith.
I'm not the one in control of it.
I mean, you guys can tell him like where you want to place that if you like, but this is effectively the default, kind of just covering the entrances, or it could be blocking them specifically, as they do take up physical space.
I mean, I guess they will get the most use out of being by the doors. Probably, unless something climbs in over my head. I don't know if the ceiling is solid.
The ceiling is at least relatively solid, and I've tried to put up walls to give you a general idea like kind of where the height is. Just you want to put it in because the ceiling showing up or not showing up sometimes can just be frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. Hope I agree.
I'm good with all that. I mean, we can always move one up to Belisari if she feels very unsafe, but this covers the doors, which is a good idea, because it's
I
probably where they're
always
coming
feel
from.
unsafe.
We're all here to support you. Don't feel unsafe with us.
Alright, so you okay. Well I guess I will say that I have cast my Wall of Force now as opposed to doing it when we next convene. Should I just wait until we next convene?
Probably best just do it next time, as we are 4 minutes over time as it is.
Oh no.
So we have the prep done. Fight will start next time, and should be done in actually should be relatively finished in only 2 sessions.
Huzzah! Fight some stuff. 2 sessions is pretty fast to get through 100 rounds of combat.
Well, it's not gonna be combat the whole time.
What?
There's just gonna be short breaks in between.
I came here for 100 rounds of combat.
This is
Dude, I don't have 2 weeks to run combat, and you don't have the hit points for it to last the full 100 rounds.
Says you.
Yes, and I am the GM.
I've got over 100 hit points. If I lose a hit point a round, I will still be alive at the end.
Guardians of Faith can still take damage though, right?
No,
No, that's a Baldur's Gate thing.
Excellent.
they cannot
You
be
know,
targeted.
There are walls that stab things.
Yeah. Until they run out of stab. That's why that's one of the areas of Baldur's Gate really pissed me off. It's like you're not supposed to be able to attack this thing. It is just in the way. And the only way to get rid of it is to make it attack.
Yeah, the Baldur's Gate has the annoying belief that anything you summon can and should be attacked.
There's also no reason for him not to cast a second level, spiritual weapon. It doesn't cost him anything.
That's true. Don't think I prepared that, but I can change that because I should have. So I will put one of those out there.
I know I had it prepared, so if he doesn't have it now, it's because you took it off.
Yeah, I did legitimately go and change the spell list.
Bastage.
Alright, so let's see. The fifths are toast. The fourths are toast. Might as well make it a third level spiritual weapon.
Yeah. My plan, I planned to spend all my fifths, fourths, and the spiritual weapon. That was my plan this whole time. I just knew the fourths were either going to be 3 Death Wards or 3 Guardians of Faith. And I thought I would get a fourth one of either one of them using a 5th level spell, because I didn't realize it was going to cost both 5th level spells to give everybody aid, because I never remember how many creatures it targets.
Yep. So, yeah. So, once Magic Circle is complete, Roland will have 4 first levels, 3 second levels, and 1 third level left. As in, using the 6th on the ritual.
Roland's the goat.
Roland is
He has
blowing
that-
his entire load on
Yeah,
this.
spiritual weapon is one of his permanently prepared spells. So, yeah, as it is.
Oh,
So, yeah, he has done the best he can. Like, he could chuck some water around, but it's probably going to evaporate before he, gets through it.
I don't want to think about Dad blowing loads unless it involves Orgnar.
Anyways,
Ooh, dust barrier would be useful.
thank you guys for coming. Hopefully y'all had a fun time.
Heck yeah.
Always.
And
Got to use my Blinky dice a bunch.
Yep.
Blinky.
Yeah. Come up with a name for my for one of these elementals before next session. Because I need to reskin it, which means it needs a new name.
What needs to... let me end the stream. Thanks everybody
Bye,
for coming.
stream!
Bye, stream!
Bye.
Bye.